think we're working out now more than ever that anxiety and stress are at epidemic proportions, with this being Australia's biggest health concern. And our next guest has released a new book called The Mind Strength Method to help people curb their anxiety, conquer worry and to build resilience.
Yeah, and joining us now is clinical psychologist Dr. Jodie Lowinger. Good morning, Jodie.
Hey, Jodie.
Good morning.
So you say that our anxiety can act as a superpower. How so?
It certainly can. You know, in my work with adults, kids and teens, there is this common thread about this deep caring heart and this analytical thinking mind. And we want to recognise that these are inherent strengths, but it can be a double-edged sword. So in order for you to move from anxiety into practical and effective action, it's recognising the inherent strengths, moving from worry into value-driven actions. It is the protective instinct at play, and I like to say for people who experience anxiety, you care because you care, and it is a really helpable human experience.
But it's that voice, isn't it, in your head? It's that nagging voice that tells you that you're... It's like, I think some people call it an inner critic. Mine's basically a full-on bully.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's a bully. So how can we manage that talk in our heads?
Yeah, and in fact, I talk about the worry bully in the book.
Yeah.
It is this big, nasty bully, and especially that inner critic voice. It is about getting some distance from that story. It might be the I'm not going to be a good enough parent story, or my business will fail story. Can you get some distance from that story and move from worry around what's out of your control into problem solving and action planning around what's in your control?
I think, can it also just creep up on people? I mean, often people just try to push it aside or avoid it.
Yes, absolutely. And I talk about, you know, when we are experiencing anxiety, we're in fight or flight. That's what it is, the protective
adrenaline
instinct.
goes and your mind enjoys it.
Exactly. And what we do, it doesn't feel good. So we get in the boxing ring with it. We add more fight or flight to the fight or flight. So really one of the key strategies is acceptance and moving into what's in our control.
So people go down a fear-driven path of like trying to, which is our natural coping mechanism to, you know, is that a good strategy, or what do we do? What's some, like, if you wake up, you feel like this is going to be a bad day, for instance, which is what sometimes happens to me. I think this is going to be a bad day. What can you do if you're a person that goes through it like that?
Yeah, well, that self-awareness is a really important part. In the Mind Strength methodology, step one is awareness around our fight or flight driven thoughts, feelings and actions. What is worry telling you? What's that worry story? Can you leverage the power of breath to take yourself out of fight or flight? Bring your mind back to the present moment, move from worry into problem solving around what's in your control, and gradually take steps forward aligned to what I call heart-driven or values-driven action.
Okay, as well, stress burnout is an underlying issue a lot of people ignore, but it can actually cause a feeling of total depletion. So what are the signs of that?
Stress is something that's really overwhelming at the moment around society because of this long-standing uncertainty. Sometimes when I'm working with people, leaders particularly, it feels like walking through sludge. Sometimes mind fog, muscle tension, agitation, short fuse, many different faces, but it is really helpable. And it's moving into respecting the mind-body. Small is better than not at all. Walking in the fresh air, connecting with others. These are really powerful, practical strategies that will make a difference in a person's life.
Well, this has been a great therapy session.
Yes. Boo. You can bill us for that session.
No billing needed. It is a joy.
It's a great idea and lots of good stuff in this book. Go get the Mind Strength Method. Head to any good bookstore. Thank you, Dr. Jodie.
Beautiful to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Jodie. Up next, all the latest 9 News headlines.
We'll be right back.